This video is about ovulation. In the previous video, I covered the follicular phase. And so if you haven't seen that, definitely think about going back to it after this video, kind of see where you go. Ovulation is the period of your menstrual phase where we are really feeling like expressive, like everything's kind of blossoming, and it has with it some unique strengths or skills or things that feel really easy, natural. And it also has maybe what you might consider kind of challenges. I just kind of see them as things that are less optimal for this time. Each phase of our cycle has things that it's kind of like that are optimal for that time. They're gifts of that cycle. And if we try and take gifts of other parts of our cycle and put them in this part of our cycle, then sometimes it can feel a little bit challenging because it's not going with the cycle of nature, right? It doesn't mean that we can't do them. It just means that you might not find yourself tending to those things or feeling really comfortable doing those things. And the more that we embrace these different cycles, the easier it becomes to live life with ease, to create the things, to manifest the things that you're looking for, to feel easeful and abundant in relationship, to feel confident and empowered, have that deep trust inside, to set boundaries, whatever it is that you're working through right now. To feel good with your hair loss, for example. Wow, that's a very specific video I might make one day. So ovulation. Ovulation is, it's like this time period where we are just looking to express ourselves and communicate ourselves. Expression and communication can come really easy at this time. So if you're feeling like you want to express yourself and you have some fears around expressing yourself, it's also natural for them to come up. I want us to remember that we don't need to always express ourselves the way that we do in the ovulation phase. If we're menstruating and we don't feel it as expressive, we don't feel that we have that knack for communication that we have in the ovulation phase, that's normal and natural. Doesn't mean anything really. It just means you're in a different phase. So this period is all about like your body changes. Think about it like you're really primed, you're ovulating. You're really primed for having sex, for receiving seed, right? Your body will change. And a lot of the time you can kind of look at yourself, your skin might be clearer, you might feel more confident in your body. You've had like this really beautiful relationship with your body. Like, yes, I feel like a woman. This is me. And sometimes you don't. And that's also okay. What's happening at this phase is we're beginning to notice the result of the seeds that we planted in the weeks prior. So if we've been really like moving towards our goals or our intentions at this time, it might feel like a really big celebration. We might feel really wonderful in our body and really beautiful and really attractive and really sexy. And if maybe we haven't, then maybe we don't feel that way. Or maybe if we haven't moved towards our goals, we might feel some sadness or some disappointment or some anger or some frustration because your body knows and it feels very apparent that, oh, okay, I was expecting to be celebrating at this point and I'm not. So we might feel those emotions. At the same time, we're looking to do things that are really focused on relationship. So you might feel more social. Doesn't mean that you're going to feel this way for the rest of your phase, right? What can happen sometimes, particularly if we have a period of, or we're kind of, we tend towards maybe people pleasing or we're quite empathic. Empathy is really heightened at this time. And we tend towards people pleasing. What can happen is sometimes people will kind of see this magnetism that we have and they'll make invitations to us. And I want you to be careful if you're ovulating to be intentional and not necessarily commit to a million things, because like right now you have this beautiful energy, you're like, yeah, we can do all the things. That will change in the next 2 weeks. So it's time to be, experience and enjoy this outward, like, yes, beautiful relationships, I love everyone. And at the same time, be mindful to not commit yourself to lots of things in the next few coming weeks, because you're going to be moving into what we'll call the luteal phase and the menstruation phase, which we'll get into in a moment. So this is all about, like, yeah, expression. This is a great time to ask your boss for a raise. This is a great time to share your insights, to film that video, to communicate with that friend. It's very relationship focused. It's more about, like, we're communicating, we're understanding, we're connecting. This is a wonderful time to go out and be social, to celebrate, to feel into, like, the goodness of life, and also understand that there will be other emotions that can come up. So we want to be mindful that with each heightened kind of, if we have concerns expressing ourselves, and we feel this urge inside of our body to express ourselves, and the concerns might feel heightened rather than the urge. We might feel anxiety. These things might happen. Generally, this is a good time to, like, take selfies and things like that, because you're feeling it. And at the same time, if we feel this urge to really be in our bodies, but we have maybe shame around sex or trauma around sex, or we don't feel particularly sexual, or we have maybe some disordered eating background, or it feels very present and current, or we don't feel very proud of how our body looks, then those are going to be heightened. And we can address them. And when we address them, then we naturally tap into that present urge that we have. Then we get to enjoy this phase. The next phase that comes after ovulation is the luteal phase. And the luteal phase is my favorite now, but it is the source of a lot of pain for a lot of women. This is when we experience PMS, and we're going to go into that in the next video.